Hey there, I hope everybody's doing well. Thinking about the ancestors, this whole series with the ancestors and the ancestral story and honoring the ancestors in the context of COVID 19, in the context of the Black Lives Matter movement for justice, for black bodies, black bodies. Thinking of it from a poet, from an artist, from a creative standpoint, from a place of being a descendant of people that were enslaved or people that went through so much. Black people in America. And then boiling it down to just the context of kind of like my personal life, my personal journey, and just what that means. And today was like a busy day. Today was an admin day of just mailing out art pieces and making sure everything is right. Making sure all the T's are dotted and T's are dotted. Ha! Making sure the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Um, it is a running a business, a small business, and just thinking about that in the context of what did my ancestors do? When you and thinking about equity and ownership and the lack that Black people have been able to achieve over the years through very specific and direct um, efforts by a white populace, certain white people in America, making sure that systemically Black people were financially not um, allowed allowed into the circle of economic inclusion. And just thinking about what that means to own property and to be able to build wealth and hand wealth down, and seeing how that played out in my father's life and grandfather's life, and the rural Black people is where I come from. I think we all, if we go far enough back, we're coming from rural people. But I come from rural people. I am a rural person. I spent many years of my life in the country, real country, with dirt roads and jackrabbits and coyotes and Mojave green rattlesnakes and bull snakes and gardener snakes and foxes and roadrunners and lizards and horned toads and Gila monsters, and just thinking about that time and coming from the earth and what the earth meant, what the desert landscape means as the many years that I walked the desert, but what ownership means. And thinking about the town that I came from. I came from a town that is the town is named Phelan, California, and it's named after James Duval Phelan, who was the mayor, I believe. Pretty sure he was the mayor in San Francisco, and this is the 1800s, late 1800s. Um, you can Wikipedia him, James Duval Phelan, and he was overtly racist. And thinking about my family now owns land in that um, town and how overtly racist he was. He had a campaign that was keep California white, and he had a problem with the Chinese and Japanese not assimilating to America and the America ideals, and just seeing him, as I believe he was Irish. You can fact check all that. I'm pretty sure I got it down. Irish descent, and how he bought into the whiteness and the white supremacy and the idea of whiteness as a white American and what that meant, and that we all had to align to this. And just thinking about alignment and thinking about that in relationship to all of the freedom fighters that are out doing such wonderful work in this Black Lives Matter movement for justice, and just really centering it around and centering black bodies and black people and black trans people and queer folks, and having an inclusive movement towards justice, equality, and a safe world. And I think about that at one time we didn't have seatbelts in cars, but now we got seatbelts. We fixed that problem, and we no longer have the systemic danger that we had for so long when it came to automobiles, and we still have wrecks. I passed one today, and it was heartbreaking. But we made some significant changes. So thinking about that, and also thinking about as a creative, just running a small business as a black person and being a bootstrapper myself. And someone described boots, you ask black people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but you cut off their legs so they don't have shoes. And metaphorically and literally, that in the really extreme cases, um, but I'm saying the metaphorically that whole thing. So I think of that. I think of the ancestors as I do my work as a creative and run a small business and paint paintings and draw drawings and teach and write poems. I think about the sacrifice, and I think about the effort, and I think about labor, and I think about being kind to myself and resting, you know. Um, so I think those things are so important, and I may have to consider them in a different way as being a black person. You have to consider labor in a different way because you're looking at transgenerational traumas. You're looking at transgenerational memories and transgenerational realities and space and interruption and boundaries that were um, all taken from you. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. I think it's good to sing. I always like to sing. I do like an improv. Woga do pork sugar, woga joke pork sugar, woga pork dogo dogo, biddy gando do do do, yeah, way way down there. I said way down there. I said, way down there. Oh, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I said, way down there at the end of the road. Way down there at the end of the road. Way down there at the end of the road. Way down there at the end of the road. Way down there at the end of the road. Way down there at the end of the road. You will find water. You will find water. It is water for your soul. You will find water. You will find water. You will find water at the end of the road. Whoa-do-do, nya-do-do, nye-de-de. Whoa-do-do, yeah, whoa-do-do. At the end of the road, you will find water. At the end of the road, you will find water. It is black water. It is black water. That black water may be cold, but it will restore your soul. That black water may be cold, but it will restore your soul. Let the paint dry.